Well, I was gonna make a flight simulator video, but now I'm making a fish video, and this has been a thing that I'm gonna talk about for a while now, and I've been dealing with this for a long time with my guppies, and I think I've showed you, and you've probably seen it in some of my videos, and surprisingly, it hasn't changed um, sexes and or guppies. So the way this works is it's a parasite that is untreatable from my know. I'm just gonna say it's untreatable because there's so many different people out there um, that have this fish, and you know, they get it and then it dies. They get a sailfin molly, same thing, it dies. Different fish, right? But the interest. Sorry, I just had chocolate. The interesting part about this is it's not the aquarium's fault. It's just because these fish are inbred to get these colors. Um, to get like these blues and these greens and these Dumbo rare guppies. So I have a Dumbo rare guppy that I got from Petco. Survived about a day or so, died. Then I had another guppy, survived a day or so, died. And that's $6, and I was literally on the Petco on the Petco. My gosh, it's late tonight, guys. I was literally on the phone with Petco, and I'm like, hey, you guys gave me a sick fish. Is there any other sick fish in the tank? No, I'm trying to battle with Petco because I've had this happen twice, 3 times where I've spent, I think, upwards of like $4 per fish, which is like 16 ish, right? So I buy the fish, and you know, it's living, it's eating, hardy as ever, right? Um, and then it dies. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. So I decide to get another guppy. Same thing happens, dies. Then I get another guppy, all the same Dumbo ear. So it's Dumbo ear to Dumbo ear to Dumbo ear. Died, died, died. Right? So, I'm trying to figure out why these fish are dying. What's going on in my tank? Because my tank is fine. Every time I do a water change, all the fish are surviving. And Pico's like, oh, it's your water probably, most likely. It's your fish. You're feeding your fish too much, etc. All that other crap that they say. Which is good, they had to say that. Because they don't know my fish, they don't know the tank. I mean, obviously I bought the fish from them, but they don't know what's in my tank. They don't know the water quality here. And my tank is pretty fine. I have several chunky females in there that have, babies every 30 days. And I have some endlers in there as well, and some cobra guppies in there that also give babies and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, the tank is pretty good, right? But the fish aren't surviving. Anything I get from Petco, anytime, whether it's a new strain, I got, random fish here. I'm getting random fish in same style guppy, right? So exactly this guppy, and I just found a pretty guppy, honestly. But it turns out to be the one that I had issues with. So I get the guppy, and the guppy is surviving great. Dies within 2 days, right? Call Petco. Okay, you want a refund? Here, we'll give you a fish. So they gave me a fish. Same thing happened. Died. and then I get fish from my other pet store. So now it's so how this works. Okay, let me break this down for you guys. And obviously, I'm up making these videos, and it's pretty cool for any new aquarist to want to learn about stuff like this and learn about fish as well, um, as the fish that they're caring for, right? So, what you want to do is, what am I saying? Um, I totally forgot my train of thought. But like, so okay, so I remember now. I'm just like going crazy because I'm like tired and I'm also trying to make a video because I just found out what this disease was and everything like that, right? So I get the fish, three dumbo guppies that are pretty from Petco, right? And all three of them died. No, I'm sorry, two of them died, or two or three died, right? So I'm like, okay, this doesn't make sense. Same species of fish, do research. Fish is fine, right? Everything they says it's hardy. You go to, online, you go to Guppy Care, and you'll get the fancy tail guppies. Fancy tail guppies are here. Fancy tail guppies are one of the most common guppies in the world. They are also known as fan-tailed guppies or fan-tailed guppies. The fan-tailed guppies or fan-tailed guppies. These beautiful fish are wide and long tails. And are easy to take care of and come in all colors and patterns. It can be hard to tell fancy tail guppies apart from other species. However, fancy tail guppies have fan-like tails and are flowy. So this essentially would be a long fin guppy with longer like finnage, like this kind of, but maybe a little shorter. I'm not sure. Like, so the tail flows like a fan essentially. Mosaic guppies. Sorry. So perfect. Not that. Cobra. What's cobra guppy? Koi guppies. Yeah. Solid colored guppies. Albino guppy. Lace guppies. Half and black. Cobra guppy. Okay. So I go to a local pet store, right? That's not a breeder, but it's a not a chain pet store. So I go to the pet store and I'm like, okay, I want to get a cobra guppy, and I buy a cobra guppy, and this thing must have survived for 5-10 months, at least a year, in my tank, and that's normal for a guppy, 1 to 2 years, depending on the breed. And cobras tend to be more of the because generally they are hybrid of the they're a hybrid species of the endler guppy. So if you type in cobra endler guppy, you'll see the coloring, and it's the same with the cobra guppies. The same tail, glass guppies. Okay, those are cool too. But oh, here. So this is an endler guppy. These guppies are generally colorful. So basically, all the color that you see here. Hang on, let me find the photo. All the color that you see here is basically like that cobra gene there is bred into this. So yeah, it's pretty, but that has to do something with the genetics. So you're changing. Now this could happen in real life because or outside of the aquarium in the wild. So these, if you let these go, or if you have a female that has this color randomly, cool fact: the guppy species, the female guppy species from the Amazon does have color on it, versus the endler guppy species, which does not have any color to very little color on the tail. So that's how you can tell the difference between an endler female and a guppy female. So if you want to stick with strain guppies, get guppies with females with colorful tails. Get guppy females with colorful tails versus the guppies without colorful tails. So if you find a female guppy with colorful tail, most likely it's a guppy, but knowing how the genetics are, it could be a cobra guppy as well, which means it's a hybrid guppy. So generally, I go to the pet store, right, and I'm like, okay, this fish isn't surviving, right, and okay, same thing happens, right. So I'm trying to figure out what disease this is, and I'm trying to, I don't have any pictures. I don't know what the heck this disease is, right? So I get 3 different guppies. I think this is my 4th guppy. Let's just say 2 or 3 guppies. All 3 of them died, right? So then I go to my local pet store and I see the same cobra guppy that's not a chain pet store. Buy it there, the fish survives. So I'm like, okay, the fish was surviving for 2 years now. Why are these guys dying? Petco's and PetSmarts only sell males most of the time. It will be definitely rare to find a female in a local Petco or local PetSmart. FYI. So you go to the Petco and there's many reasons why your fish doesn't survive, and I'm like trying to figure out, okay, why are my fish not surviving when every single fish in my tank, besides one molly, does not have ick or does not have a disease on it, right? So now, obviously, you could say it's ick or whatever, but I had this fish in my tank for a while. It came from my tank, so it never spread to any other fish in the tank as well. I killed it. I think it accidentally died or something happened to it, whatever. But I killed the ick off of it, fine. Then it died a couple days later, fine. Then none of the other fish were affected. Didn't see any ick spots or anything, right? So I know it's not a disease. And I'm trying to figure out, okay, what's wrong with this thing here? And I'm like looking online, still can't find it. Still can't find it. Battling with Petco at the same time. So I have this Dumbo guppy that's this fish that's surviving fine, and then every other guppy that I get is not surviving, right? So like male guppy, male Dumbo guppy. I'm trying it. Okay, so backpedal here. I'm trying to create a strain of the Dumbo guppies, right? So all right, I want to try Dumbo guppy. I want to try, to breed Dumbo into these big fins here, into my males that I have in my tank. So I get multiple guppies, and there's an easy way of doing this, but it's a pain in the butt because you gotta breed the fish, right? You gotta get the fish, get the male you like, then you have to pick a female that's 100% female, have the male breed with her, have that specific male or that specific female have babies, then breed again without anything. So you would have to literally get one male and 2 females, or one male and have it bred, raise it with 2 younger females, and have his genetics go into those females, have both females have babies, and then have the babies again. And that's how you would create a Dumbledore guppy, most likely, from what I've done research on. Um, so it's basically the second generation of Dumbledore guppies from breeding that strain that you will get that genetic gene in the fins. Um, and so I'm trying to do that now. Not really so much as of breeding them, but I'm just trying to see if I can get a Dumbledore guppy without stressing my fish out, because I love my fish and obviously I don't want to do that, right? So I'm looking into it. I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with my fish, right? And nothing's wrong with my tank. Nothing's dying, and then I'm having issues with every guppy I get from Petco. And, Petco's occasionally has sick fish in the tank, etc. So, bad supplier, they get randomized guppies. They don't have a specific guppy. They don't know what the supplier is. Okay, I need this fish, guppy gets sent to the pet store and we buy it. But the pet store only gets males and females. So, mostly males. So if you want, let's say, a tetra, and you want a tetra, barb, and stuff like that instead of the guppies, those guppies in a pet store or in a chain pet store are sitting there and they're not being bought. So 5 months later, you can have a fish that's like, okay, it takes a guppy roughly 1 to 2 months to get full grown, right? So, okay, pre-colors, right? Now, fast forward 5 years from that, or 5 months from that, and you have a year-old guppy. Now, when you get the guppy survives for a year and dies, right? Okay, so you want to try it again. Same thing happens. Guppy lives for a year and dies. So, there's many different aspects of the genetic pool of guppies, how long a guppy has been in the pet store for, and I'm not pretty much crazy about lifespan, but I'm pretty much crazy about certain genetics that I want in my strains. Because then what I'll do is, okay, I have basically this color green, this color blue. I like that. Let's keep this male, get rid of this female, get rid of this male, take this, and go from there, right? So, that's what I'm trying to do. But the way it works in Petco is like, you have a year-old fish. There's only so much time that fish has left to live a healthy life, to breed, and they don't breed their whole lives. They stop breeding, I believe, at a certain age. Not sure when exactly that age is, or that month is, but they don't breed their whole lives, same as mollies. They only breed for a certain amount of months, right? So, if you have a guppy that's 1 year old, you only have time to breed it for 5 months, and if you don't know what you're doing, that fish is going to be dead within 5 months, realistically. So, you go to the pet store and they're like, okay, I want a guppy. And they give you a guppy, it dies. You try it again, it dies. You try it again, it dies. Then you go to a local pet store, which I did, like a local, not a chain pet store, and the fish lives. So why is that? I wanted to do research. I called Petco. They're like, oh no, we can't give you a fish because of this, and this reason. Okay, let me do this. So I ended up having to go back to Petco, buying the last Dumbledore guppy that they had. And I'm like, you know what? This guppy is... I'm done. I'm not doing this. I'm going to try to keep this fish alive. Because at this point, I had 3 guppies die. And I'm like, okay, just to make sure that this specific fish is not going to die on me, I'm going to use fungus treatment. So, what I did was I used fungal treatment, and I used microbe lift. I literally boosted this fish's immune system to he's still kicking and eating. He eats 1 to 2 flakes per day. He is still eating. He's still a pretty boy. He's still swimming around. He's still healthy. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. I know how to deal with this now, and I know how to deal with other issues as well too. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what this disease is, but I'm determined to figure it out at this point, right? So I click on the video. The video was why not to buy guppies. All the things I click on, I'm like, okay, this is weird because guppies are bought to breed, and people are like, why not to buy guppies? Well, okay. So I was thinking, well, you're buying a guppy from a pet store right now. I'm getting to the end of this video. I'm sorry it's taking forever. But yeah, it's still going. I'm just checking the time here. This video has been going for 21 minutes. Awesome. So as long as it stays 20, yeah, we should be fine. So, I know all of you guys aren't interested in fish and stuff like that, but I just want to do random videos and a nice variety of videos for you guys. So, anyways, I am doing research and I'm like, you know what? I don't know what this disease is. I'm trying to figure out. I tried playing ick parasite and tried playing fungus treatment and ICX fungus microbe lift ICX, and I've been bouncing between those two. And nothing happened. Fish would die, whatever the heck happened to it, right? So the fish would die a couple days later, right? And I'm like, okay, there has to be a reason why this fish is dying. So I'm like, okay, I gave up after a while, and I do research on my guppies and stuff like that, but I never really saw or I never really heard what the disease is that I'm about to tell you guys. And I'm like, so the fish is alive, and once it gets this parasite, its parasite basically eats it to death. So you can have a totally fine baby guppy. That's fine, right? And luckily for me, mine are only the endler guppies, the endler females. So I'm like, okay, I have a skinny endler female, and it's doing good, right? So I'm watching it. It's not gaining weight. It's still skinny. It's decent sized fish, but it's not nice and chunky. Like you want to keep your fish, like especially your guppies, because they breed nice and chunky, like a nice stomach like this, right? So this fish is like going downhill, and I'm trying to figure out what it is, right? And so I try to figure out. I'm trying to, see if it's fungal treatment. First time, fish dies. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. And the fish's skin is real and it's not eating. And every other fish is fine. So I'm like, okay, that's weird, right? So I'm going on this video and I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. And I'm going to dislike the video, right? But I'm like, let me watch it, see what this guy says. It's probably something that makes sense, right? The first thing he pulls up is a fish with wasting disease, which is basically you have a guppy, and the guppy gets this parasite. This parasite eats all the food that the guppy eats. So the guppy is basically is a host for that parasite. Parasite's eating food. Guppy's getting skinnier, dies. I just found out what my thing was. I was like, thank God it's not anything that would kill my fish or anything that would but it does spread. So, and then obviously I'm like, okay, this works. And, because it's wasting disease, now I gotta figure out what the heck is wrong with my fish and how do I prevent it and stuff like that. Like, how long does it take for a guppy to have wasting disease and all that. So I'm like, yes, I finally figured it out. I'm like, that just took a whole chunk of worriness for my babies off my arm or whatever, shoulder. Because, like, I want to breed fish, and I want to eventually sell fish, but I'm looking into selling plants first because those are easy versus fish which die and have a stressed and stuff like that. Plants don't get stressed, so looking at selling cactuses and plants first, then looking at selling fish. So I'm like, I gotta figure out what this disease is, and I just figured it out. So, thank you guys for watching this video, and wasting disease is pretty much a interesting disease where you could be feeding the fish, and if you're like, I'll feed my fish, and then my fish will die. And I'm like, for the past weeks, right? I had one guppy die. I got 2 cobras from the same gene pool. And I'm like watching this fish, okay, his brother died. Perfect. Full size guppy, not getting any bigger. The thing dies, right? Then I have another guppy die. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. But same genetics. Generally, when you get a genetic pool, those genetics usually are around the same time period. So I get a. So then I'm like, okay, this is weird. But then that makes sense because one guppy died from parasite, right? Dead, skinny. And then I go to my girlfriend's house and I just gave her guppies. And besides her not feeding the guppies, which guppies normally eat, right? So I'm like, okay, this is not, weird or not like common to have a guppy this skinny and die like that. So I'm like, okay, it's something that's in my genetics, that's in my guppy genetics. And I'm like, I want to figure this out because I can't give anybody guppies and then have them have this. But guppies aren't a bad fish. They're just misunderstood because you can have a guppy, but you can't breed that guppy over and over and over and over again. They can get scoliosis. They can get genetic mutations. I've had guppies with scoliosis. Poor little fish. Swimed around. Half of the body was up, half of the body was straight. Poor little guppy. But there's just a lot, I think, that goes into guppies that most people don't care about. Like, you can have a guppy, totally fine, dies the next day. Because you didn't know how it was. Like, I could feed my fish. This disease is, like, very easy to, misunderstand. Because you get a fish, and, like, my guppy is chunky, but he's not that chunky. So I have guppies, male guppies that get really chunky. I have male guppies that are like prefer to eat 1 or 2 flakes, which is fine. And I just realized my Dumbo guppy has a long way to go. So he's pretty young, which is good. But anyways, guppies eat all differently, and I think the main reason why this disease is misunderstood is because of the fact that we go to work, right? We go home, feed our fish, go to bed, get up, feed fish, go to work, come back. We don't spend time, like I'm home on the weekends and I make it my time, essentially, to take care of my guppies and make sure they're nice and chunky. And I even told my girlfriend, like, with these fish, even though you have guppies, like, okay, even though guppies can't be chunky, like betas, if they overeat, they die. What's another fish? Tetras, if they overeat, they die. Mosquito fish, bluegill, I mean, any fish basically. You are trained to think that if you overfeed a fish and that fish is nice and chunky, that the fish is gonna die. When really, if you research it, this is a minnow. It's not. It's a minnow. It's a bait fish essentially for Amazon river fish. So minnows essentially, like, we use minnows for bait. I could use them arowana for bait, but obviously, I'm not gonna do that. But the common thing is that these guppies graze. So for a guppy to randomly die, that's full grown, or that's that you just got, makes no sense. There's bacteria in there, there's food in there, there's microorganisms in there that your fish, even though it blights out, that they can eat. Even if you skip feeding, they can eat. Now I'm going to feed my fish out of this fish just because I love my fish and I want them to possibly die. So, but, yeah. So, I think the main, now I'm going off with, like, crazy right now because I'm trying to close out this video and trying to give you guys the main info about what I think. So, my opinion is people are so busy. Like, okay, I have a girlfriend that all she did was feed her fish pellet food. These fish don't eat pellets. I'm sorry, they don't. They'll pick up pellets, but it's not enough food, enough nutrients for them to just pick up pellets constantly. Especially no life spectrum, where it's like, okay, you got it, but then the catfish eats it. Especially when you have other fish with them, they won't get the nutrients that they need. And I'm like, okay, I found a fish, skin as well. But if you find your fish nice and chunky, old age. So I just think the main reason why people don't like guppies is because they're told, backtrack. The main reason I think why people don't prefer guppies is not because, and I'm just going off with like what the disease was as well, so it's going off with the conversation I would talk about and stuff like that. So the main reason why I think guppies are not wanted, by why you shouldn't, like, why people say that you shouldn't get guppies, is not because guppies breed. It's not because guppies have different mutations, this, that, the other thing, right? So why you shouldn't buy betas? There's a million reasons. Tank size. They need a filter, they need a heater, they need this, they need that, they need whatever, right? But in reality, you go to a pet store, these fish, these living creatures are staring at you. Whether, whatever color they have, they were taken from a tank, transferred to another tank, and are gonna die within a couple months in the pet store thing just because people won't buy them. Just because somebody saw a video online that said, why not buy guppies? The misunderstanding in this is that people get fish because they're pretty. When they're told that, oh, this guppy has issues, oh, this guppy is this, oh, this guppy is that, oh, this guppy, well, beta, what's another, beta goldfish, etc., right? If they're told that this fish is hard and it will survive and it will live, right? But they're not looking into the whole aspects of why you should get guppies. Guppies are, I think, from what I've been reading and stuff like that, the most prettiest fish. They are essentially the coolest color ever. The fact that you can create all these different colors is insane to me. Like, I can create this by just breeding this. Like, really, I have a guppy with this black thing. So, you can create this. You can create this. You can create this. You can create that. But what? Why shouldn't I breed guppies? Like, why should I breed guppies? What, like, there's so many things out there. That's a nice fish. There's so many things out there that people are like, oh, I shouldn't breed guppies because of this. I shouldn't breed guppies because of this genetics. The main issue is not because the video that you watched says that you shouldn't get guppies. So it's not the fact that, okay, I shouldn't get this guppy because of this reason. Right? But what you're saying to yourself is, I don't have the time to care for a guppy. That's what you should be actually asking yourself. Do I have the time to deal with whatever genetic pool is in this guppy? Do your research. There is so many different species of guppy people. I mean, seriously. Genetics. Albinoism. There's so many... Albinoism, that's not even a word. Albino. This guppy can't see. This guppy can. 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 Dragon scale guppies. Yeah. No, dragon scale bees, I'm sorry, where the scale actually grows over the eye. That's what we're putting these fish through. So, the fish is living with basically dragon scales, where it's more prone to getting diseases and stuff like that. So, what I'm trying to say is, why are we not buying guppies because people say not to buy guppies? The main fact is, and I'm going a bunch of different ways because I want to add all the info in that I can into this video because I care so much about guppies. I don't think it's the thing that, okay, don't buy guppies because of this reason. The main thing here, now there's a bunch of main issues, and if I forget one, whatever. But the main issue with people is they're told, okay, you get a guppy, right? It breeds. Yay, guppy bred. Yeah, guppy bred, but do you know what genetics are in that guppy? Do you know the color? Do you know the half black color? Do you know what that does to the fish? I don't even know what half of the genetics do to my fish. I could breed a cobra guppy with a blue guppy, and it could totally trash the genetics, or it can make this fish live like 10 years. I don't know. But the main reason why people are having these issues is because they don't do the research. I'm sorry, but guppies are, and mollies, and swordtails are bred for color. But do you ever think about the genetics, people? Or do you just want color? Because if you're just going for color, you're not going to have healthy guppies. This is not natural. This is not natural. This is not natural. This is natural. This is not natural. This is natural. This is not natural. So, depending on what you want as an aquarist. So, if you want to breed endlers, fine, breed endlers. If you want to breed fancy guppies, good luck. Because there is so many. I could just fancy tail guppy, delta tail guppy, round tail guppies, scarf guppy, mosaic guppy, leopard guppy, koi guppy, all these guppies. Look at all these. Any of these fish can have a genetic difference. Any of these fish can be low genetics. So you can have a guppy that's pretty, but because you didn't do your research and breed it with a crap female, you get bad genetics. And it's not the fish's fault. It's the fact that people breed for color and they don't breed for health of the fish. So, if you see a video, I'm just going to give you my opinion. If you see a video that says why you shouldn't get guppies, don't watch it. You should get any fish your heart desires, people. And enjoy it. Guppies, you can remake a strain by just adding in a guppy and picking out the ones that live the longest, or breeding them and seeing which ones, like the cobra gene. The cobra gene is natural. I have a female in there that has a cobra gene. I have a male that had a cobra gene. Doesn't have anymore because it died, obviously. But, you do the... add the genetics. What is this red from? There's no guppy that is red. I can see there's no... where did we get the Dumbledore gene from, people? Where did we get the long fins from? It's not natural for a guppy. But what you want to think of when you're buying a guppy, my opinion, is do you have the time to take care of a fish that may have genetic defects, that may have ick, that may have parasites, that may have genetics, bad genetics, good genetics. Hence, do you have the time to figure out your fish's color? Like, okay, if I want to breed this genetic and with this genetic, I'm basically making this larger. So I'm basically making all these dots larger and keeping the head. Pretty fish, right? I don't know the health of this fish. I don't know the health of this fish. This is bad genetics. Right here. So, if you want to breed healthy guppies, if you want to have guppies without wasting disease, get guppies, but breed up to the better guppies. So if you have a blue and red guppy, blue guppy with red female, breed those. If you have a guppy, and then if you want, if you have the time, people, get a cobra guppy. Let that cobra guppy breed with the female. Let the color, get into that. Yes, you'll screw up your genetics, but not for that species. So, one last thing. The way, what you're doing is you're screwing up the female genetics, yes, but you're not screwing up the genetics of the female. Those genetics are in the female for its whole life until it dies. So, if you want to breed, sorry, if you want to breed healthy guppies, get a plain guppy. Start with that. I started with half blacks, got into cobras. Now I have a cobra guppy, female. That's mine. I bred into that. And it's healthy. It's still alive. It's a baby right now. So, do your research. Be smart. Don't go for the color at first. Go for half blacks. Half blacks is a good strain. Cobra is a hybrid strain. So if you want to go for a healthy guppy, I would suggest half blacks and then go from there. Therefore, you have a healthy strain, and then you switch over to a not healthy strain, but you're taking the color and you're adding it into a healthy strain. So there's a whole bunch of other genetics. I'll go into guppy genetics in a later video. I just wanted to tell you guys because I just figured it out. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoy these videos, guys, because I enjoy talking about it. I probably sound like a stupid person right now, but because I'm talking like I think 1 o'clock at night trying to make this video, and my dog has to go pee pee, so I gotta go let him out. Thank you guys for watching. And please like and subscribe, and I am excited to make these videos for you. I can go let my dog out, sorry, didn't have to stream. I can go let this dog out.